Next part of the build I'm going to do is the oak block centre that the tremolo and the bridge is attached to. So I've got a 32mm piece of Tassie oak here. I've used the same hole that I used when I did the third neck. That's still just a test neck. It's quite a good one, but I'm going to use this timber here up the back. I've got a nice piece of rosewood from Queensland from Australian Guitar Timbers. So that'll be my next, once I'm happy with my design. And then I've also got a rosewood fretboard there. And the bit was a bit thick. The timber was like 45mm and I don't need it that thick, so he was good enough to shave it off for me because I don't have a tool capable of cutting off a slicing there, so he did that for me. So that's actually thick enough to make a backup fretboard as well. So I've got 2 fretboards, bits of material there. Just going to be painted black. I might use this one here and leave this nice fancy looking colourful one for something else. But yeah, so anyway, so back onto the oak block here. So I'm going to rough out the shape that I need. As I said, this is 32mm thick. I need to trim it down to 20mm thick, so I'll just shave the top of it down and then continue to clear out material so it's got the basic shape. There'll be a couple of tabs left on the sides here so that when I flip it over it's got something to hold it to the table, because I'm going to basically mill down to the table when I clear out these sides. These bits arrived in the mail the other day. Most excited to see these bits. So essentially, here's your tremolo, there's your blade there, and this part here is the bridge. So when I mill, I'm going to actually, when I make the block, mill these holes to accept those bolts in all at the same time. I figure I might as well just do it if I trust my drawing. You've got to trust your drawing, of course. Made a few things in my time, and I trust the drawing rather than my hand drilling skills. So I'll mill the holes for those. I'll have the machine also just pilot hole these using a 1mm bit. The only thing I'm going to have to hand drill is these holes here that come in this way. So once I've actually the whole thing will sit this way, to be honest. So yeah, that's the way it'll sit on the tabs will be on the side here. So once I've drilled the top and the bottom, I then have to drill the side. So I've got a rotary table, but I'll just do it by hand. It's just 2 holes. So long as I print out a template and line it up with my job to some little hole centers, I just put it on my drill press and drill in some depth. I'm uncertain yet as to how far I'll need to drill in, but I'm probably going to drill a fair way in, just in case I have to tension these bolts up super tight and the bolts are too long. Could always trim them off, I guess, with a saw, but I don't wish to do that. Alright, so we'll keep moving. Finish the top milling. That's the little bolt that's got to be sunk into these guys, so they fit there. Should press 6mm in, which is about the depth of them. So I might just push them all in and see if I can build the bridge right now, see how it looks. So there's all the bolts pushed in. I think they're flush with the surface. Okay. So that worked quite well. Everything's all bolted in there. I can't really do up the end bolts too tight because they're actually deeper. The bolts go into the wood at the bottom. but there'll be a pick guard there lifting it up another 3mm, so that shouldn't affect anything once it's complete. This doesn't quite go up to the edge there just because it's a rounded corner using a 1/8 inch bit, so I'll just clean that out. I might actually get it to do the corners with the 1mm bit when I'm just piloting these, just to clear out a little bit more. That might get it close enough, I think. But yeah, the pickup will sit right there. That's right on it. And that gives me from the center of the 0 fret to about the middle there. That's about 610mm. I did have it further back, but I had to get it right down the front to be 610, so I thought I'll put it right. And I had a look at the Red Special in Brian May's book, and his additional plate surround that goes around each of the pickups, it doesn't have a backside on it, so it's pretty close. I don't know if it's that close, but anyway, we'll see how that goes. So pilot hole's done, and I just cleaned out a bit more of that corner, so that fits in there pretty flush now. That's alright, and it's flush with the surface there. So next we'll undo these bolts, flip the whole job over, and mill the other side. So the other side essentially is just a pocket for this, it pushes in. And then I drill holes in the back here for these 2 bolts. So flip it now and then mill the other side. We're just finishing off a bit of a rough cut. Now I'm just doing a parallel finish. I should run the machine the other way, but I forgot to check which way I was running. So rather than going across, I should have just gone up and down this way. So there's the part, it's in there fairly tight. I'll need to get a pair of pliers to pull it out of there. Sticking out of the top, which is going into the bottom, is about 3.4mm. So the next part I've got to do is drill the holes in through here, and I'll drill them quite deep so that there's a fair bit of cavity for those bolts to go into. Next we'll just pull this guy out if we can. There we go. So yeah, next drill the holes and then cut this free. Might use the drill press, I guess. I could put it on its side and make a jig and use the CNC machine. No, I might just use the drill press. It should be easy enough. So what I've done here is just using my drawing. Kids have been scribbling on paper. Using my drawing that I've got in CAD, I've printed just on paper, obviously, a template here. So I'll just line that up with the part and just mark where the holes need to be, and then we'll start with a small drill and just gradually make our way bigger. So that went as I expected. Had to make the holes considerably bigger than I'd initially hoped, just due to the bad alignment of my template. But that seems to work. So they're in there, the screws are in, the bolts are in. Just got the blade sitting on top at the minute, but it sits in there quite nicely. I've just hand tightened up the springs, but it works as it should. Yep. Anyway, so that's all good. So next I guess we'll cut it free from its edges here, and that part will be complete.